Good morning. I hope you had a great weekend. Today, I'm going to show you some ways that you can make your own math questions if you've run out of math worksheets and you're still looking to do math in those 4 out of 5 activities you have to do every day. Sometimes you should be doing some math. So if you run out of questions or worksheets, you can always make your own, and I'm going to show you how. The first way I'm going to show you is with dice. So to make a question, any number sentence, you first need a number. So you need to decide if you want a 2-digit number or a 3-digit number. All of you should be working with 2 or 3 digits with your adding and subtracting questions. If you're trying to work on some multiplication, you can just use a 1-digit number. So if I want to make an adding sentence with, let's say, 2-digit numbers. I want 2-digit numbers. I have to take my dice. I can use 1, I can use more. I have 4 and an interesting looking one. You can do whatever you'd like, but I have to roll it once for each digit I need. So if I want a 2-digit number here, I need to roll a dice 2 times, or I need to roll 2 dice. So I'm going to roll 1 dice 2 times. Take my die. The first number I got was 5. So I'm going to put my 5 here. 5, but I don't just want a 5, I want a 2-digit number, so it's 50-something. 50-something. Let's see what the something's going to be. I take my die, I roll it again. This time I got 2. So my first number is 52. I need another number, so I need to roll my die 2 more times. First one, I got a 1. So my first number is going to be a 1 for the tens digit. So we're going to have a teen, will be a 12. Let's see. Then I got a 2. It was a 12. So I have a 1 and a 2. That makes 12. You know how to add these. You add your ones together. So my 2 plus my 2 is 4. And my tens together, my 1 plus my 5 is 6. So I've made 64. I didn't have any worksheets. All I used was 1 die to make 2-digit numbers, a 52 and a 12. Let's try to make 3-digit numbers. I'm going to stay with my adding sentences, but this time I'm going to make 2 3-digit numbers. To do that, all I need to do is roll my die 3 times. I got a 4, 400, because I'm making 3-digit numbers. I got a 1 next, 400, and then a 1 in the tens column. And I got, another 2, another 12, 412 is my first number. And then I go on to my other number. I need to roll it 3 more times to make a 3-digit number. I got a 3. I got a 4. 340, what? 300, fell down. 345. 345. So to do this one, I would add my ones. 5 plus 2 is 7. I add my tens. 4 plus 1 is 5. And I add my hundreds. 3 plus 4 is 7. You can do this with any numbers, as long as you have a die, but the problem with a die is you're only going to get numbers between 1 and 6. If I roll a die, is there a 7 on here? An 8? A 9? No. So if you're using these dies, you're never going to end up having numbers in your adding spots that have a 7, an 8, or a 9 in it, or even a 0, because dies don't have that. I have a different die here, if you can see. This one does have a 9. It has a 5, a 3, an 8, a 0, a 7, a 4, a 1. This is a 10-sided die, so it does have numbers from 0 to 9. If you don't have one of these, I'm going to show you a different way that you can make numbers using some other supplies that will have 0s and 9s. So I'm going to do some subtraction questions next, and I'm going to show you the next way. So we've learned to make numbers with a die. You just roll them as many times as digits you need. So a 2-digit number, roll it 2 times. A 3-digit number, roll it 3 times. If you want to make a number in the thousands with 4 digits, you need to roll it 4 times. So I'm going to show you the next way that we can make them as well. If you don't have dice or a die at your house, but you do have cards, like playing cards. Oops, that's a joker. If you have playing cards like these, or I even have Uno cards. Those work too. I'll show you how to make those next. Let me just erase my board. And this time we're going to be looking for subtraction questions. So I'm going to make 2-digit subtraction questions with cards first. So make my number sentence. Oh, I wanted subtraction, not addition. Minus this number. So first I'm going to just take regular cards and I'll show you how to use those. So if I pick up a 2, my first digit will be 2. Then I pick up, I've just shuffled it so it's random, a 7. My next number will be 7, 27. So all I did was pick up a 2 and then a 7, 27. My next number, I need 2 more digits. I have an 8 and it's a face card. Since it's a face card and you don't ever want 10s, because if I just put a 10 here, it made a 2-digit number already. That's not really what I'm looking for. So we are going to pretend any face card, if you have a face card, it's going to be a 0. So if you get a face card, it's a 0. That means jacks are 0, queens are 0, kings are 0. Okay? And even 10s. 10s can be 0 as well. So if you get a 10, 0. Not the 1, just 0. So I got a jack first. So I'm going to put a 0 here. It's okay to have a 0 in it. And then I picked 8. 0, 8. That looks interesting. We know we can't start a number with a 0, so we just erase it. And it's actually going to be a 1-digit number. 27 minus 8. Well, that one's a little tricky. Well, I know 28 minus 8 would be 20. And I just added 1 here. So it means I should take 1 away from my answer. So 20 minus 1 is 19. 27 minus 8 is 19. Let's try that again. It got a little interesting. I'm going to try some normal numbers. Let's try to make another 2-digit number. 4. Start with a 4. 3. 43. Easy. And then I got 9 for 90. 5. 95. Uh-oh. If I have 43, can I take away 95? 95 is the bigger number. If this happens to you when you're making subtraction questions, what you need to do is turn it around. Change them. So our number is actually going to be 95 minus 43. When you're subtracting, you always have to put the bigger number first, or your question's not going to work. You're going to get a number that goes past 0 and doesn't make any sense. If I only have 43 cookies, I can't give 95 cookies away. I don't have enough. So if my question is 95 minus 43, I do my ones. 5 minus 3 is 2, and 9 minus 4 is 5. So I have 52. It's a little messy, that's okay. I'm going to show you one 3-digit subtraction question using cards, and then I'm going to show you one other way where you don't need any supplies. You don't need dice, you don't need cards, you don't need anything. So let's do one 3-digit one. Let's see. Make a longer line, minus, need longer for 3 digits. All right, let's try it. I have, 9 for 900. Then I have, remember, a 10 is a 0. 0. Oh, look, I got a queen. Do you remember what that is? Face cards are also 0. So I have the number 900. That's interesting. Now let's try some Uno cards. 900 minus 5. That's upside down, but it's a 5. 500. Oh, this if you get any odd cards in Uno, some interesting cards, they can also be zeros. That's fine. So this one will be a 0. 500, just a 1. 1. So let's try to do this question. 900 minus 501. Well, I know 900 minus 500 is 400, but we need to take one more away. If I count back, 400, I'm just going to count back 1. It changes it to 399. Because 400, going 1 back, 399, and you keep counting. So my actual answer is 399. Okay. Now, if you don't have cards, you don't have dice, there are still ways that you can make your own random number sentences. Let's try that. We're going to try that one with just some adding questions, and then I'll show you at the end, if you want to try some multiplying, I'll show you how to do that too, okay? So if I don't have any dice, I don't have any cards in my house, I can still do these math questions. Sorry, my cards are in my way. What I did, I took a piece of loose leaf paper. I didn't even use scissors. I ripped it. You don't even need scissors for this. You just need pencil and paper. So I took my paper, I ripped it, and I ripped it into 10 little pieces, and I put numbers on them. I put the numbers from 0, 1, 2, 3, here's the 4, 5, here's the 6, 7, 8, I have 9, and I don't want a 10 because that's a 2-digit number. I only want 1 digit. So I have the numbers from 0 to 9 on my papers, and all I would do is I'd put them in a pile, I'd put them in a bowl, somewhere where they're going to stay put, and I pick one up. So here's my pile. It's just over on the side. First number, we'll make 2-digit numbers this time. So I'm only going to pick 2 papers for each number. First one, 7. So 78. If you want to think you might want to use the 7 and the 8 in the next ones, just put them back in the pile. Don't take them out. So I still have 10 things in my pile. My next number is 4. 40. Oh, I got my 8 back. 48. So if I want to add these, this one might be a little trickier. 8 plus 8 is 16. Well, the ones digit from 16 is a 6, and the tens digit goes with our tens. So 7 plus 4, I know 7 plus 3 is 10, 1 more is 11, so 7 plus 4 is 11, and my extra 10 here is 12. I just put them 12 beside, and I get 126. So I made those questions only using little scraps of paper. Just pick one up, put the number down, and keep going. Make different numbers, and this way, your brain doesn't have to think up the questions. The questions are random. The papers choose for you. If you want to challenge yourself and make some multiplying questions, you can do the same thing. So if I want to make multiplying questions and I have a die, I just want 1-digit numbers for multiplying. Some of the 2-digit numbers is too hard for grade 3. So don't frustrate yourself by trying to do 2 questions that are too hard. Do a 1-digit number times a 1-digit number. So if I'm using my die, 2. 2 times 5. Oops. So that means I have 2 groups of 5. And if I have a 5, I know it's easy to count by 5s. I count by 5s 2 times. So I go 5, 10. 2 times 5 equals 10. Remember, multiplying is just skip counting. So 5, 2 times 5, 10. Perfect. Let's try to make a multiplication question using cards. So just 1-digit numbers still. I pick my cards. I have, just 1. 1 times 8. 8. If I count by 8 1 times, I just say 8. That's it. Anything times 1 is itself. So if I times 8 by 1, My answer is 8. Ooh, that looks like a plus. Sorry, it's hard to write sideways. Let's try to make one more multiplication question using the papers. So I have my spots. That still looks like a plus. Miss Vasvary, no. All right. 2. 2 times 3. What's upside down 3? 3. If I have 2 times 3, I can count by 2 3 times, or I can count by 3 2 times. It's easier to count by 2s, so let's count by 2s 3 times. 2, 4, 6. My answer is 6. So you can also use these tools to make yourself multiplication questions. So the lesson you're doing today, the activity you're doing, you are going to make me 10 number sentences. You could make them adding sentences, you could make them subtracting sentences, or you could make them multiplying sentences, but I'll show you what this means. You need to have at least one adding question and at least one subtracting question. So you could split this 10 number sentences any way you want. You could make 4 adding questions and 6 subtracting, because 4 plus 6 makes 10. You could make 9 adding questions and only 1 subtracting question, because 9 and 1 make 10. You could make 4 adding questions, 4 subtracting questions, and 2 multiplying, because 4 plus 4 plus 2 makes 10. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 more is 10. Or you could do only 1 adding, 1 subtracting, and all the rest multiplying. As long as you have at least 1 adding question, 1 plus, and you have at least 1 subtracting question, 1 minus, you can do any way you want. So if you prefer adding, do extra adding questions. If you prefer subtracting, do extra subtracting questions. If you prefer multiplying, you can do extra multiplying questions. If you aren't confident in multiplying and you don't want to try it this time, you'll notice you do not have to. Oh, I wrote subtracting. Even teachers need to edit. Subtracting. So you don't need to do any multiplying if you don't want to, but you can do some if you want. Even if you want to just do 1, you can, and that's okay. So you need 10 number sentences, and if you want to make them 2-digit numbers, that's okay. If you want to make them 3-digit numbers, that's okay. And if you want to challenge yourself and give yourself 4-digit numbers, that's also okay. Don't go higher than that. Don't make any 5-digit numbers yet. And 1-digit numbers are too easy. I don't want to see anyone adding 4 plus 2, 7 plus 8. That's too easy for you in grade 3. You need to try 2-digit numbers or 3-digit numbers. Well, good luck with that. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them to me. And you can use, if you're having trouble doing the adding or the subtracting, I sent some math tools to your family's emails last, I believe it was Thursday. So if you need to go back and ask your families to look back at Thursday's email to get the math links, there are some really handy websites online that you can use base 10 blocks, even if you don't have them at home. So you can use them online, like Prodigy and Dreambox. You can just click and move them. So that's a resource that you have online that you can always use. So if you don't have base 10 blocks and you don't want to draw them out, you can go onto a website online that your families have a link for, and you can use these to help you. And that's always okay. You can always use tools to help you. Or a 100 chart, whatever you want. Okay, good luck. Make 10 number sentences. You have to have at least 1 adding and 1 subtracting. Make them with dice, make them with cards, make them with papers, however you want. Okay? Good luck. Enjoy.